In this video, I will go over my top 5 favorite Matthew Lillard films. 13 Ghosts, 2001, is a supernatural horror film that definitely stands out for its wild premise, unique visuals, and, of course, Matthew Lillard's memorable performance. The movie is a remake of the 1960 film of the same name, but it amps up the scares, the visual effects, and the gore. It also leans into a kind of stylish, supernatural mythology that was popular in early 2000s horror cinema. #plot and Lillard's role. Lillard's presence is one of the things that really elevates 13 Ghosts. His performance strikes a balance between humor and horror, which plays well against the movie's over-the-top, chaotic atmosphere. While the film is often criticized for its CGI-heavy effects and overuse of jump scares, Lillard's grounded portrayal gives the film a sense of emotional weight amidst the supernatural madness. #the film's unique visuals and tone. One of the standout features of 13 Ghosts is its visual aesthetic, which makes the ghosts feel like physical, tangible presences rather than just images on the screen. The film uses a unique technique called ghost vision, where characters view the spirits through special glasses. This adds a layer of visual complexity and helps make the ghosts even more terrifying. The film's set design is also fantastic, with the mansion's architecture being both labyrinthine and haunting. The ghosts themselves are designed with a lot of detail, each with its own backstory and personality, which is part of what makes the movie interesting. It's more than just a collection of random creepy creatures. It's a film that fleshes out its supernatural beings in a unique way, some of which didn't quite land with critics, but still developed a cult following. The movie plays heavily on the idea of the house being a kind of labyrinth, with the ghosts acting as a metaphor for trapped souls, and Dennis's character dealing with his own past as a psychic who's always been caught between the world of the living and the dead. Critics weren't overly kind to it, especially in terms of the storyline and special effects, but many fans appreciate it for its style, Lillard's performance, and the visceral thrills it delivers. It's the kind of film that knows exactly what it is, full of chaos, creepy visuals, and fun moments of terror. Why Scream is a must-see film. When Scream debuted in 1996, it completely revitalized the horror genre. By the mid-90s, slasher films had grown predictable, but Wes Craven's Scream brought something new: self-awareness. The movie didn't just deliver scares. It openly acknowledged horror cliches while still using them effectively. That mix of sharp humor, clever writing, and brutal suspense made it an instant classic and set the stage for a new wave of horror films. Matthew Lillard's key role. Matthew Lillard plays Stu Macher, one of the most unforgettable characters in the film. At first, Stu seems like the goofy, over-the-top friend who provides comic relief. But as the story unfolds, his true nature is revealed. He's one of the killers. Lillard's performance is critical because he balances that humor and high-energy personality with genuine menace in the finale. His delivery in the climax is often described as chaotic and unhinged, making the final act both terrifying and darkly funny. Lillard brought a wild unpredictability that kept audiences on edge. Without his performance, the ending wouldn't have had the same shocking blend of horror and absurdity that makes Scream stand out. Why it matters. Lillard's portrayal of Stu elevated him from being just another slasher villain to one of the most iconic horror characters of the 90s. His performance continues to resonate with fans today, contributing heavily to Scream's lasting cultural impact. Without a Paddle, 2004. Directed by Stephen Brill, Without a Paddle is a buddy adventure comedy that stars Matthew Lillard, Seth Green, and Dax Shepard. The story centers on 3 childhood friends who reunite after the death of their 4th friend. Discovering a hidden treasure map he left behind, they embark on a wild river adventure to find D.B. Cooper's lost loot. The film blends slapstick humor, bromance, and light adventure with a hint of survival comedy. It's set against the backdrop of the Pacific Northwest's wilderness, complete with bears, weed-farming hippies, and whitewater chaos. Matthew Lillard plays Jerry Conlane, the emotional core of the trio and arguably the straight man in a group of eccentrics. Here's why his performance stands out. Key traits of his performance. Grounded amid the chaos. Lillard plays Jerry as the somewhat responsible, emotionally aware friend who keeps the group tethered. His performance offers a balance to the chaos brought on by Dax Shepard's reckless character, Tom, and Seth Green's neurotic one, Dan. Underrated comedic timing. While Lillard doesn't always go for the biggest laughs, his subtle expressions and reactions provide some of the film's funniest moments. He knows how to let a joke breathe. His timing is natural and relatable, especially in awkward or ridiculous situations. Emotional authenticity. There's a surprisingly heartfelt undercurrent to Lillard's character. He captures the nostalgia and emotional awkwardness of rekindling old friendships, dealing with loss, and re-evaluating life's direction. Something that gives the film more weight than you'd expect from a stoner adventure comedy. Physical comedy without overdoing it. Lillard has always had a knack for physical comedy, see Scooby-Doo or Scream. But in Without a Paddle, he keeps it measured. Whether he's dodging gunfire from redneck pot farmers or slipping on river rocks, his physical performance stays believable and funny without turning cartoonish. Matthew Lillard may not have had the flashiest role in Without a Paddle, but he brought exactly what the film needed. A character with heart, humor, and just enough hesitation to make the adventure feel real. It's a performance that showcases why Lillard remains one of the most quietly dependable actors in comedy, and why this movie still holds a nostalgic place in so many people's DVD collections. Why you have to see Scooby-Doo. The movie. Okay, listen up. If there is one reason you need to watch Scooby-Doo, the movie, it's Matthew Lillard as Shaggy Rogers. Seriously, this isn't just a performance. It's a transformation. From the very first scene, Lillard doesn't just play Shaggy. He becomes him. The voice, the body language, the stoner with a heart of gold vibe. It's all spot on. It's like the animated character jumped straight off the screen and into real life. But here's the real kicker. His performance was so iconic, so perfect, that when the original voice actor for Shaggy retired, Matthew Lillard took over the role in the cartoons. That's how good he was. He literally became the official voice of Shaggy in most Scooby-Doo projects from 2010 onward. His chemistry with Scooby, voiced by Neil Fanning, brings the emotional core of the film. Goofy, loyal, and surprisingly heartfelt. You feel their friendship. You root for them. And when things get rough, Shaggy is the one who holds it all together. Whether you're in it for nostalgia, laughs, or just good old monster mystery madness, Matthew Lillard Shaggy is the glue that makes the movie work. No one else could have pulled it off like he did. And honestly, no one ever should. Scooby-Doo 2, Monsters Unleashed, may not always get the love it deserves, but one of the strongest arguments for it being a must-watch film is undeniably Matthew Lillard's performance as Shaggy Rogers. He becomes Shaggy, not just plays him. Matthew Lillard doesn't just act as Shaggy, he embodies him. His voice, his physical comedy, and even his emotional vulnerability are spot on. You could argue that he outdoes even the animated original. In fact, his portrayal was so iconic that he eventually took over the voice of Shaggy in the cartoons after Casey Kasem retired. That tells you everything. He brings real emotion to a goofy role. In Monsters Unleashed, Lillard gives Shaggy an arc. The fear of not being a real hero. That insecurity plays out alongside Scooby's own quest for self-worth. There's a surprisingly human core to his performance. Under all the fart jokes and sandwich stacks is a guy who really wants to prove he belongs. Physical comedy masterclass. Lillard's physicality is unreal. Whether it's running in terror, pulling exaggerated faces, or interacting with CGI monsters and Scooby, who wasn't even there during filming. His energy sells every scene. This is especially important in a film where so much is cartoon logic. Lillard makes that logic feel grounded and watchable. Chemistry with Scooby. Believe it or not, it takes serious acting chops to believably act alongside a fully CGI dog. Lillard gives Scooby real weight, reacting to him with such natural timing that their friendship feels sincere. Even when they're doing ridiculous things like wearing disguises or inhaling chemical fumes. Legacy and fan loyalty. Fans still talk about Lillard's performance. Online clips of his scenes rack up millions of views. He's become a fan favorite not just because he's funny, but because he gave Shaggy heart. And when Warner Brothers cast someone else as Shaggy in later projects, Scoob, fans were outraged. That's how much Lillard's version of Shaggy means to people. Scooby-Doo 2 might be about monsters and mayhem, but Matthew Lillard's performance proves it's really a story about heart, friendship, and finding the hero inside yourself. Even if you're just a scaredy cat with a bottomless stomach. That's not just good acting. That's unforgettable. And there you have it, folks. My top 5 Matthew Lillard movies. Make sure to like and subscribe.